Welcome back to my channel, Next in Food. I'm your diva chef, Simone Walker-Barrett, and today I am pleased to share another of my favorite Jamaican recipes with you. And today we're looking at gizzada. Now, gizzada is something that you love it so much you can't get enough of it. It's something that you buy from the lady at the school gate. Something that you buy at the bus stop. These days you can get it in the supermarket or in the gas station, and so I want to show you how simple it is to make a gizzada. Now the gizzada comes in two parts. You need the pastry, and that is the problem part where I get a lot of emails, people asking me, Chef, how do you get the pastry soft? And so I'm going to show you how that is done. And then you need the filling. Sometimes the filling can be dry, and I'm going to show you how not to get it dry. So let's look at gizzada. So gizzada is basically a little open tart. The pastry is made with shortcrust pastry, and the filling is made with freshly grated coconut and lots of ginger, and of course some sugar for sweet. So let us make gizzada filling. In this container, I have one large coconut grated. I'm going to just add it to this pot here. Now, if you want flavor, you have to put flavor in. And if you want deliciousness, you have to take some time and do it right. In this container, I have 2 cups of brown sugar. So that goes onto our coconut. Over here, I have 1/4 cup of ginger, minced. This is fresh ginger. All I did was to mince it up with my knife. So all of that goes into the pot. And then of course, this is what it looks like. We're going to need some salt. Salt is very important. Cinnamon powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder adds that depth of flavor. A tablespoon of vanilla. And this is the simple solution for it not to be dry. You need what we call a simple sugar. This is pancake syrup I'm using because that's what I have. You can also use honey. What this does is that it prevents the gizzada filling from drying out. As small as it is, it plays a very important part in it. So I'm going to add my simple sugar in the form of pancake syrup. And then to cook everything together, you need 1 cup of water. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to take this to the stove, and all of this is going to cook and come together in one big nice flavor. Okay, so this is what everything looks like when it combines. So I'm just going to let this come up to a boil, and all you need is 10 minutes of cooking over medium heat for this. I forget the nutmeg, so I'm going to add some nutmeg in, and that's just some freshly grated nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon. And we allow this to cook for 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. So while our gizzada filling is cooking, I am going to show you how to make the dough. While we wait on the gizzada filling to cook, I am going to show you how to make the shortcrust pastry for the base of the gizzada. Now, shortcrust pastry is one of the simplest pastries to make in the bake shop. The ratio for shortcrust pastry is 1/2 fat to flour. What does that mean? If you're using a pound of flour, you need 1/2 pound of butter or margarine. And for best results, you need the flour to be cold, you need the butter or margarine to be cold, and you also need cold water. Yes, pastry love cold environment. Okay, so in the bowl, I have 8 ounces of all-purpose flour and 4 ounces of cold butter. Now what I'm going to do, I also have 1/2 teaspoon of salt because pastry also tastes better with salt. What I'm going to do, I'm just using my fingers and I'm rubbing the butter into the flour until the flour looks like fine breadcrumb. Okay? Or in other words, you just mix it in until the butter is not obvious. So this is what it looks like. You could use a fork to do this, or there's a little gadget that you can buy that is called a pastry blender. So you see these are the pieces of butter, you just rub them in and it looks like fine breadcrumb to me, or coarse cornmeal some people will say. But the point is you mix the fat into the flour with your fingertips. Now that is ready. We're going to now add some cold water, and you're going to make it into a dough just like you would make a dumpling. Cold water is better. So we're adding the water a little bit at a time, and as soon as a part of the flour comes into a dough, I like to take it out and put it aside. I'm adding the remaining water and still using my fingertips. You don't need to knead the pastry. Again, take that out. And then now on the board, you squeeze it into a nice ball. Now if you feel a little bit dry, you can add some more water. This one feels a little bit dry, so I'm just gonna add a little more water. I have some unmixed pieces here. Again, you mix it in. That's what you want. Then I like to take a little flour, sprinkle a little flour on, and just shape it. Not too much kneading, you just want to bring it together. Make sure that it is together in a ball. See that? You want to mix it into a ball, and then you take a piece of plastic, or you could use a Ziploc bag, and you wrap the dough. You secure it into the plastic and press it back into the container and chill it in the refrigerator. You want to chill it for 30 minutes. I have one that I made up ahead of time. Just take it from the plastic, put some flour on my board, and I'm going to roll this out with a rolling pin. So for this preparation, a rolling pin is very, very important. So I'm going to take a rolling pin and roll the dough out to a thickness of about 1/4 of an inch thick. Now, resting the dough in the fridge allows the gluten in the dough to relax. It allows the fat that we put into the dough to remain firm, and overall it just allows the dough to remain cool, and that's what we're looking for. We want to have a nice cool dough, because the more we roll it, the more it's going to warm up on us. So we want to make sure everything is nice and chilled. Again, you can just feel it over here, feel a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to light strokes. I like to flour the rolling pin. Okay, so this is the thickness that I'm looking for. This looks like about 1/4, 1/8 of an inch thick, so that's fine. I'm going to use a cup as my cutter. This is about 4 inches round. So this is what I want to do. Put it into some flour so it doesn't stick on the dough, and press it in, and it cuts it just like that. And I'm just going to make a little production line over there. You can also press it in and use a knife to cut it out to make sure that it cuts. I'm making small gizzadas. They're not exactly cocktail size, but these gives you 3 delicious bites. You know, I like to make them small for my family. You can make them bigger, but the size of the gizzada depends on the cutter that you're using. So if you're using a small round cutter, you are going to get small gizzardas. And if you're using big round cutters, you're going to get bigger gizzardas. All right, so that is a simple rule right there. Now the beauty about it, you can re-roll this, which I'm going to do in a little bit, but I want to quickly show you how this is done. So now we have our gizzarda circles cut out. We're going to need some water to seal the pastry together. So a little water, just use your finger or a pastry brush, and then we're going to pinch. So you use your index finger and your thumb, if you're right-handed, on your right hand to pinch, while you use the index finger on your left hand as a guide. So again, and I have my cookie sheet ready. So again, the water goes around the edge. What the water does, it helps to seal the pastry together. That pinch, that word, it helps to keep it together. Again, we pinch it, take it up, and put it on our cookie tray. And I'm just gonna make a couple more for you to see. Again, index finger to guide on one hand, and if you're right-handed like me, your index finger and your thumb on your right hand you use to pinch the gizzarda. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to continue pinching, and then I'll show you how to fill them. So our gizzarda filling is ready. It has been cooking for 5 minutes, and this is what it looks like. It's moist. The kitchen smells like ginger and coconut and cinnamon and vanilla, all the flavors that we put in there. And that's how you know it is done. You can taste it. I love to taste everything. So again, you just take a piece, cool it. You should taste ginger. You should taste cinnamon. And of course, you want to taste the sweetness. And everything is tasting good. So I'm just going to let this cool off a bit. And then we're going to use it to fill our gizzarda pastry. Very important that you use a pastry brush. I'm using my fingers. And you're taking some cold water and you're just going to wet lightly the edge of the circles for gizzardas, and then we're going to pinch them. So pinching is a signature look of the gizzarda. Whoever made this gizzarda, whoever first made this gizzarda, my hat's off to them. This, I'm suspecting, came to us from our English heritage, and I'm sure they came to Jamaica, and probably the slaves were the one to put coconut in it, because we have so many coconut trees on the island. And that is it about our cuisine. Most of it, who did what first, is not documented, so we don't know, and then the tradition passed on. And I'm just playing my part to just make sure that our culinary heritage, our culinary tradition lives on for my grandchildren and great grandchildren, and also for your grandchildren. And so I encourage you to try this recipe. Tell us what you think. Make sure you go over to my YouTube channel, Next in Food, and subscribe, comment, like, and share. Share it with your families and friends. Tell them, hey, you know, Chef Walker Barrett is showing us to make all of these Jamaican dishes and more. Isn't that pretty? So now this is done. I'll show you how to fill. So we have some filling that is nice and cool. You want to put the filling in it while it is cool. So you use I'm using a regular spoon. And so if I were to measure this, I would say a nice 2 tablespoons of filling. Pack the filling in, don't be stingy with the filling. Well, I find that when you pack the filling in, it helps the pinch to be a lot more precise. See that? And these are ready for the oven. The oven has been preheated at 375, and those are going to take 12 minutes to bake. I can't wait to bite into this, but you have to let them cool because the coconut filling hold a lot of heat. These not going to last long with my family, so from my family recipe to you, I hope you try this gizzada recipe. Subscribe to my channel Next in Food to get this gizzada recipe. Don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, like and share the videos. A gizzada is great as a snack, and it is great even as a dessert, so you can share it with your families and colleagues. I'm your diva chef, Simone Walker Barrett. See you next time for more delicious Jamaican inspired recipes. Take care.